guys, welcome back again to the channel. This is part 2 of the interview between Ikyo and Emeka. Guys, they shared a lot, but this part spoke to me dearly.
If there's anyone who's listening and maybe you've been in a relationship or you wanted to start a relationship thinking you had God's direction and it did not happen at all, maybe the person married someone else, I don't think that's the end.
So guys, indicate in the comment section what part spoke to you, and I hope you enjoy. Sit back and let's get started. Any last advice for newlyweds? Or
advise us.
You should advise us.
or let's say people that are about to maybe take the bold step to say yes. Okay.
I'm listening.
Who's looking at me like, what's just saying? Okay. For me now, I'd advise anybody that if you want it, that you waited for so long before coming up to saying anything. Someone may see it as, why did you wait so long? But I think it's good that you're sure, very sure, 100% sure.
Sometimes you're not even 100% sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good you're sure, right?
Like waiting for God's direction.
That's the assurance now. You're sure that it's actually God that's telling that this is what you should do and this is who you should be before you make that move, instead of going to meet somebody and the person is telling me, oh, like for us now, right, we're already very good friends before he came up to me and said those things. So imagine if I had not felt the same way. What he said, not only will he be disappointed, our friendship would have, maybe we won't have survived.
Yeah, it's not going to continue. Yeah.
Because that was our concept. So that one, the advice I would give, make sure that actually following the leading of the Holy Spirit before you make that move. That one is one. Then secondly, be very patient, because for us, like, it took a very long time because our long distance was crazy. Sometimes, Sha was crazy.
Yeah.
But patience, communication, nobody should make you feel like talking to your partner every day is too much. We talked every single day. I don't think there was any day that we even if we didn't talk any day, maybe just at least send a message across to each other. So every single day we did that because of the long distance. And even if it's not long distance, you need to also communicate so that you get to know your partner very well. It was even surprising to us when they asked us questions and we were able to answer
most of them.
Yes,
that's true.
We both lived together. We were able to answer the
The MC actually thought we had lived together because we answered most
when
of
they
the
asked
questions.
us, it's because of communication, because we were able to communicate very well. Then thirdly,
you have advice.
if you want to plan your wedding,
She has been sounding this one to everyone that cares to hear.
Everybody that wants to hear, please.
Yeah, a wedding planner is actually not expensive.
Okay.
It is not expensive.
Even
You
if you
can get
cut
a
off-
wedding planner for your budget.
Even if you cut off something, because I was, I thought I was going to, I can do it, but at least that day you have rest of mind.
I was going to say something, but I was going to say exactly what she said, but now I can't really remember most of them. But like the thing she said about, you said something about waiting to hear God's direction before going. I also want to give this advice, like an encouragement for someone. I know sometimes there might be people who you feel like you've gotten the direction from God and you go into the relationship and it doesn't work. For me, I feel like there's no loss in that. It's better to actually bank on God's word than to go yourself without his backing. You know what I mean? Like so if there's anyone who's listening and maybe you've been in a relationship or you wanted to start a relationship thinking you had God's direction and it did not happen at all, maybe the person married someone else, I don't think that's the end. Like God always has a way of leading people to his will and his plan. It just shows how much we really depend on God for what we want to do. I think there were several times I was so much scared of how long I waited that I thought someone else was going to come. You get it? So it wasn't my desire to keep her waiting that long. But the truth was, I knew myself I wasn't ready. I was like at the peak of like my academic career then, and I would have been selfish if I started a relationship then. So it's about also understanding yourself, like not moving with the pressure of man, but going when God says, okay, now it's time for you to go. So there's that one, prioritizing relationship, communication. That really helped us. 4 years, I think for almost a span of 3 years, we hadn't seen each other face to face. So for this span of 4 years that we dated, if you calculate the number of times we met physically, it wasn't up to 2 weeks. I think, or maybe more, not up to a month. Let me say, not up to a month. So all we had was communication. So there's that area of communication, trust, praying together, getting. So I'll give an advice for anyone in a long distance relationship. Some tips that helped us. I think we had this Bible study plans, things that we did together from a distance, and we asked ourselves questions like being proactive about the future, not just feelings. So you're planning your wedding, you're planning your marriage already, asking specific questions. So there were some books we read on 101 questions to ask before you get married. So we asked ourselves deep questions, personal questions. So before Ikyo met my family, she had already known them because I had spoken to her about these are my siblings, this is how they are, this is my mom, this is my entire family. So seeing them face to face, it's not like you don't know how to behave. Like you kind of know how to introduce yourself to people. So these are things I think prioritizing this period of relationship, and patience is another thing. She said that so well. Like we've been hoping to get married since like yesterday. No, like how many years ago? It's been long. Before COVID, I actually planned to propose like in 2020. Then COVID struck. We couldn't travel to Nigeria, so we didn't see ourselves at all that 2020. Yeah. So, but still waiting, patience, trusting God that He has everything. He's in control of all. Because like the way our wedding came through, like the
that
memories.
One is a story on that story.
Yeah.
For another day.
God really came through for us. God provided for us. Like the way He provided, we could see that definitely this was God's go ahead. If it was our hand doing these things, like we would have been stranded. Financially, we would have actually been stranded on all areas. So many things tried to come to hinder, but God came through. So my advice for anyone, if you're going a long distance relationship or any relationship at all, take God with you. Like let God be at the center, and the both of you should be on it. Let it not be like it's only the girl that's trusting God or it's only the guy. Like both of you should work with God in the process.
I don't want to see space.
We have a.
So he said something about when you already you have the go ahead from God. Let me just say that was like a prophecy, right? So you already have the go ahead. God has given you that prophecy that this is go ahead. This is what it is. But that doesn't mean that you fold your hands and do nothing. The fact that God has said this is it doesn't mean that you just wait and allow the thing to come. You have to make a move.
And wisdom.
What I learned earlier this year, even from the crossover service we had in church, prophecies have gone out. You have to move alongside it. If not, you will just be there. Things will be happening around you, but you're not part of it. And you not start saying, "Oh, Pastor said this, this person said this, it didn't happen." Whose fault? Because you didn't make a move. The fact that God has said this is the person doesn't mean that you just stay and say, "Okay, God, tell the person that," let the person leave it. You get at least make a move.
Prophecy requires wisdom.
Yeah, and even aside from that, so while now you have said it, yes, also do things, be very proactive about it as well.
One more. Get mentors. Surround yourself with friends that are positive about relationship.
Good relationship.
Yes, good relationship. Yeah, that will pray with you. There was a time I was getting so much, even during this relationship, I was getting so much in work that a friend literally called me and said, "Emeka, start moving, start preparing for your wedding." Because sometimes as men, we can get so engulfed with something that you actually need the right kinds of friends to trigger you into that transition you need to make. And that's what friends are for. Even again with the long distance, I had friends, people who would be like, "Dude, are you in a relationship?" I'm like, "Yes." "Where is she?" "She's in Nigeria." "How are you coping?" So they always thought like you had to be sex-centered. So they felt like they were going to do me a favor to get me girls, to connect me with people who might maybe help me to relax myself. And I'm like, no, I'm not that kind of person. So that's why your circle also matters. During relationships, especially long distance relationship or anyone at all, you need right people. In fact, surround yourself with people who are married. Like God-fearing married. We had those guys.
Even God-fearing single people as well.
Yeah, God-fearing single people as well. So people who let there be that balance. Like people who can help you understand how to relate with your partner, and even people who can help you on how to manage your singleness. Yes. Like people who are wise and like who are God-fearing. So it's a time to pick the right circle of people. Yeah, because you're not in this alone.
Alright. Thank you
so much. Thank
you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Bye.
They are Bakasangas. Please
I'm not going to leave your screen without telling you that Emeka has a YouTube channel. Yes, he does, and he does amazing stuff with his voice. Please head over because the link will be in the description, and I'm pretty much sure that they have amazing stuff as a couple as well. Thank you as you do so. Bye, and I'll see you in the next